Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to replace your high pressure fuel pressure sensor on your car, and this will apply to all N55 engines. So this is the sensor that I'm using. It's from Bosch. I got it from FCP Euro. I want to say that it was maybe, I don't know, about 60 bucks, let's say. Actually no, it was about $51. And so just so you guys know, the proper way of doing this, I'm going to put that on our quotes there, is to go ahead and pull the fuse for the high pressure fuel pump and start the car, let the pressure die down until the car dies off, and then you go ahead and try to start it again, and you're just trying to get all the fuel out of the rail. But with as complex as our cars can be, not just F10s, I'm talking about all F-series BMWs with a high pressure fuel pump, you know, you may not know, there goes the car, sorry. Okay, you may not know which is the fuse to pull. What if you pull the wrong one? What if you can't even find the wiring diagram for it? What do? You know what? You don't need to pull a fuse. And actually doing that will cause a drivetrain malfunction that you then have to clear afterwards. The way I'm going to show you how to do it now, you don't have to pull the fuse, and you don't have to, you won't get a code because you won't have the engine running. And I'm going to show you that you can do it with full pressure in the rail. So stick around, let me show you that now. All right, so you guys just saw me drive the car in. So we know that there's full pressure in the rail. And, you know, in this car, it's about 2,500 PSI, which is a lot. So here's what we're gonna do. On the F10, thankfully, I have all the space in the world to get to access the back. But in a lot of other platforms, you actually have to remove a lot of cowling. Here goes another car. Okay, there we go, sorry. All right, so thankfully I have all this access. So this right here, that's our pressure sensor. Let me get you better lighting there. Let's see, there we go. All right, so that right there is what we have to remove. Now, for that, I'm basically using an adjustable wrench because I don't have any socket that size. That's about 28 millimeter, or in Imperial, that's like an inch and 1/16. Something useless like that. Anyway, so this is under full. There goes another one. Jesus, change your belt and tensioner, buddy. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this. I'm gonna disconnect the connector. Obviously ignition is off. Disconnect the connector here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put the wrench on it, wrap it around with a microfiber cloth, because the moment you crack it open, this thing is gonna just jet out a lot of fuel. It's going to be under high pressure. So I'm basically going to sacrifice this rag to catch all that fuel, and then I'll be able to replace that. Take a look at what the new one looks like. If I knew where I put it. Ah, there it is. There you go. And again, I got this over from FCP Euro. Focus. There you go. There's a Bosch unit, and it is the OEM brand. So it'll be the same as what we have from factory, but at a fraction of the price. And lifetime warranty from FCP. Non-sponsored, I paid for this myself. All right, guys. I also forgot to mention, wear eye protection. Whenever you're working with something that can jet out a lot of, something that will be very harmful to your skin or organs, yeah, try to protect yourself. All right, first things first, we're gonna go ahead and remove the connector. Buddy, come on. There we go. All right, connector is off. You know what? To make my life easier, I'm gonna go ahead and just unbolt this bridge so I can have better access to this. Actually, yeah, let me go ahead and do it. I'm just gonna loosen this side and remove this side so I can push it that way. Okay, now we got the bridge nice and loose. Got plenty of space to play around with. So we are gonna go ahead and remove that sensor. Here we go. We'll slide that connector down there out of the way. See how much more space we gain to get in there. All right, so pull this bad boy down there. This is not gonna be pretty. There we go. Now, it's still gonna spray everywhere, but we're just trying to minimize how much. I don't want to get any on my windshield and stuff like that, you know? there's not that much space to work with for this to grab, so wherever you can actually grab it a little bit. There we go. And I'm just covering, you know, it's hard to tell because my hand is covering it, but I'm basically holding the wrench in place and I'm holding the screw in place. So there you go. That's not going anywhere. And then we just hit it with a mallet and oh, eye protection. Here we go. Hope for the best. There you go. I hear it. I hear it. It's going. And I smell it. There you go, guys. It's loose. So let's just go ahead and catch the fuel. There you go. Pressure relieved. And we are good to go. So there, I'm just gonna leave the rag under it. But you see there? You see that there? There's another coil. Sorry guys, I work out of my garage at home, so we're gonna have to deal with that, unfortunately. But you see, the sensor's already loose, and it's coming out. Here we go. See, and it wasn't all that much fuel, so it's like, you know, to do all the work of having to remove the fuse and have to deal with clearing the malfunction, it's like, why? Just throw a rag and knock it loose. That's it, we're done. Here's the original sensor. All right, guys, so here's the original sensor. You see there, it's made by Bosch, and it's got a date on it. Let's see if you can focus. There you go. The year is 2015, and I think that's month and date. So that's interesting because this one was replaced in 2015. Well, I'm sorry, this sensor was manufactured in 2015. This car's a 2011, so this has already been replaced once. And actually, now that I remember, in my vehicle history before I bought the car, they did say that they replaced this sensor and the high pressure fuel pump altogether. So that must be it. But you see there, it's by Bosch, and this was replaced at the dealership. Here's the one that I got from FCP Euro. There's the Bosch, and you see the manufacture date starts with 22. So this sensor was only, what, look at that, June. So that's what, 6 months old. So, and just so you guys know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this one here. I just didn't know how old it was, and as I just found out right now with you guys. And because of the stuff that I'm about to do to the car, I want to make sure that I don't have any room for error, especially with fueling, because there's a big turbo coming this way, and I don't want a chance having issues with reading fuel pressure, because that'll be a engine killer. So with that said, spoiler alert. All right, going on to install this and we're done. All right, so now the pressure has been relieved. There's really no need for me to wear eye protection anymore. So let's go. All right, and all the fuel is dripped out. We are done with the rag. There you go. That rag can now be on the garbage. All right, so new sensor, and guys, this is so awesome on an F10 because it's so easy to reach. And I know in other platforms like the F15, the E70s, for example, that also have N55s as an option, you have to remove cowling covers, cowling cover, cowling piece, and you know, the 1 series, the 3 series, you guys all have to remove so much junk to get to this. And I am grateful that for the fact that I have access to basically the entire engine on the F10 without having to remove anything. So awesome. All right, so got that nice and hand tight. I'll just go back with Big Boy, and we just tighten it down. It doesn't take all that much. It's a pressure fit, so that's it. That's done. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the connector back in. Let's see, and the connector is only going to fit one way. You see how it's flat on one side and rounded off on this side? It's only going to fit one way. You're not going to screw it up. And there's no other connector in this area that is similar to this. All right, click this in. So sensor replaced, connector is in. Let's go ahead and put the bridge back in, and we can go ahead and start it. Okay, it's all buttoned up now. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and start it, and then we're gonna go in here and make sure that there's nothing leaking out. Considering how high of a pressure the rail operates at, it'll be pretty obvious if we have a leak. So let's go ahead and do that now. guys, so there you have it. High pressure fuel pressure sensor replaced. And honestly, with filming and everything, this took me about just under 25 minutes. I want to say that this is probably a 10-12 minute job without filming. It's not hard at all. And as you saw, you really don't need to go through the process of having to pull the fuse, start it, etc. Let it die down, and then having to clear the code after the fact because you got a drivetrain malfunction. That just adds more work. You can just stuff a rack. You see, it wasn't all that bad at all. My only recommendation would be that if you go ahead and do it this way, if the engine is hot, make sure that you have enough rags to soak up whatever fuel, because you do not want it to jet out towards the exhaust side or drip down and anywhere close to the exhaust, because not only can the fuel ignite, but fuel fumes can ignite. They are the more volatile ones, the fumes. So you definitely want to make sure that you soak it up on the rag. If the engine is hot, just be careful. It is still very much safe to do so and doable as long as you use some common sense. Fuel and hot exhaust parts do not mix. You will have a fire hazard in your hands. So anyway, with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. And please give me a like and subscribe if you want. I would love it. We got more stuff coming for you guys. Thank you so much.